Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light, ain't got time to kill, I got time to fill, I took a red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah bitch I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on this shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread with every word that I've said. How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? Hey guys, how you going? Surprise live this morning. I didn't think I was coming on. I'll tell you that much. I'm sure you didn't think I was coming on either. Hey J1, how you going? You were first. Conchega Yowie. Sorry you were second. Kai, you were third. Sorry. Raven, how you going? Meg, how you going? Edwin, how you going? Miss Heaven, blessings always. Have a great telecast. Miss Heaven, never forget you are the Greta Garbo of YouTube. Blessings always. Oh, God, love you, Edwin. I don't feel like Greta Garbo, but thank you very much. Who else have we got? Yep, we got Raven, Edwin. Okay, Kai. Okay, let's get into some weird shit. Okay, Matthew Kamanzuli here in Australia said, we're on the verge of World War III. Australia will be dragged in one way or another. Meanwhile, inflation's still out of control, pushing even a basic existence out of people's reach. Australia pays too much for housing, power, fuel, groceries. Long-standing companies are closing down, and we are deindustrialising at an alarming rate. We have a decline in housing supply and an increase in migration. The average house price in Australia is over $1 million, and people on minimum wage fall into middle income tax bracket. Welfare and wages are not keeping up, and more people are going homeless. The top-earning public servant, Glenn Davis, AC, leaves the Department of Prime Minister and Cabinet having earned a salary of over $1 million per year. A complete waste of money. Everything he implemented and everything he touched made the lives of Australians worse. Just like all of them, he was more interested in signalling virtue than doing any good. Our country's being run by insane clown show. They're worse than the insane clown posse. Like the time of Nero in Rome, they fiddle as the country burns. Iran has stated it will retaliate, and the US has made it clear that if they do, the US will defend Israel. At this time in history, that's a world war. Whatever your views on this conflict or whether Australia should take part, I am of the view that the men of this country should stand down until such time as the shameful regime of Liberal, Labor and Green nut jobs stop ruining our nation, knock it off. I refuse to fight in a foreign conflict on behalf of a government I despise that despises me. I refuse to lend the lives of my sons to a nation whose overt values I don't fundamentally support. I wish I didn't have to pay tax to a regime that uses my money to further causes I find abhorrent. They use our taxes against those of us who do the work that create, so the bludgers can enjoy massages and cruises. DEI, net zero, the politics of LGBTQI+, third wave feminism, the politics of entitlement, the NDIS and just about everything else the current establishment genuflect to, that they bolster, is destroying everything that was ever any good about Australia. It's more than managed decline, it's a controlled demolition. It is time that we, the Australian people, make a stand against the clowns in charge. We need to give our kids a future life worth living, a nation worth defending, a position on international politics that we can be proud of. Anything less than we should all just sit on our hands, let Albanese, the political class and the sold-out public service go and fight. After all, they believe in all of this garbage. I just want cheap and reliable energy, affordable housing, balanced and sensible immigration, a common-sense approach to biological sex, respect for men, women and men, real, meaningful work, a flourished nation unashamed to call out bullshit like climate change. Anything else is just a waste of life. I just want Australia back. Meanwhile, the Department of Prime Minister and Cabinet is celebrating Pride Month. I want him to go over to Iran and celebrate Pride Month over there. See what good that's going to do them. Oh no, what did I do that for? Went too far back, here we go. Lucky I'm only part way into, well, the first one. Cat Turd said, I expect a false flag event today. We will see what happens. I'm expecting one soon. I'm not sure if it's going to be today, but soon. But isn't, happy birthday to President Trump too, by the way. I forgot to say that yesterday. But yeah, I expect it any time. Isn't it King's Day or something that they're protesting about now? Or I've got no idea what they're protesting at any given moment. How you going, Shannon? Good to see ya. Rob Smith said the most awkward conversation just took place in Fiji. Let's go to the Australian Prime Minister again. Albanese forgot the name of the Fijian Prime Minister. Oh my God, sounds like Biden. Albanese then said he wants to campaign and door knock in Fiji. Nobody had any clue what he was saying. The Fijian PM looked on in total amazement. And look what he's wearing. I'm surprised he doesn't have flamingos on his shirt. Kevin McKenzie said the Times says Starmer, back to the UK, will be forced to hold a national inquiry into Pakistani grooming gangs as Baroness Casey's month-long audit into the scandal, published next week, demands it, saying white girls were institutionally ignored for fear of racism. Big win for the victims and Rupert Lowe, 10, with a national inquiry. Witnesses will be forced to appear and give evidence. This will be bad news for local councillors, social services and the police, who also sit on their hands while Rome burns. If we were in Rome, that is. Lozzie B just sighed. Just a... Main supplier to Australia's most powerful big battery files for bankruptcy. So they've ordered big batteries for the solar and, well, solar power. I don't know about wind power, if it stores in batteries or not. Anyway, they've gone bankrupt, okay? Who's he going to get those batteries off now? Rob Smith said this is how Albanese greeted the PM of Fiji. Watch this. What in the frick is he wearing? Is that a skirt? What are you doing, you insane man? With a beer in his hand, of course. That's what's wrong with his speech. He's always drunk. Drunk Elbow. This one is next level. It's amazing. I love the song behind it. I don't like who sings the song. It's Lady Gaga. But you know that song, I can't even sing it. I'm too, I've got a flu voice at the moment. That Arizona sky reflected in your eyes. You look at me and babe, I want to catch on fire. That one. I really love that song, but I don't like who sings it. What am I going to do? Okay, Mega Voice, 4 hours ago. Happy birthday to the man who put his life on the line to save America. Happy birthday, Trump. Now let's have a look at this in full picture. I want to see the whole thing because it shows he's just a person, a normal, everyday person, okay?
You gotta go fast here. Yeah. Put your hand out of the glove. How's my hair? Oh, good. No good. Watch it. That's great. Almost done here. That's great. Look at the burger. You don't show the aspirin over there.
His aspirin.
Which aspirin? We're not doing it again. I'm doing this for the cover of Time Magazine. I love Time Magazine. What you will do for a cover, this bird is seriously dangerous but beautiful.
I like how he went to reach for it and the bird went at him. Oh, dear. Okay, Crixus, I think it said, I don't know, said this. You send us to the Middle East to fight, suffer and die and then turn and invite these scumbags into the US, Australia, the UK, Canada, everywhere. What kind of stupid are you? Yeah, I want to know. Because a lot of our veterans who have passed on would be rolling in their graves right now. That is insane. Why do that? Okay, let's go to something more insane about Bonnie Blue. Oh, my goodness. This is getting interesting. Kaylin, I think it says, Bonnie Blue is a disgrace to the female gender. I don't give a fuck the way she's so proud of ruining relationships, marriage, having sex with minors, romanticising sexual abuse and pandering to rape culture. She needs to be in prison. And Maddie Rocks says, the fact Bonnie Blue is planning to be tied up naked in a glass box for days so the public can do whatever they want to her, sounds like Marina Abramovic, will be unable to move or resist entirely, and you cannot tell me she will not suffer significant trauma from it. She is blatantly promoting rape culture and pandering to the fantasies of sick men. Which she is. And here she is. Ian Miles Chong, the world's record holder for the grossest woman alive, Bonnie Blue, says that all men should cheat on their wives. I would like to slap sense into that. That's just, is she insane? She doesn't give a fuck if your man sleeps around on you. Wow. The real joker, Bonnie Blue. She did 1,000 guys in a single day. Jacinda Ardern said, fucking amateur, I fucked the whole country in 5 minutes. Okay, A said this Bonnie Blue petting zoo is just what she's calling being put in a box and having the public do anything they want to her. Thing is terrifying. Locking yourself in a cage and letting men do whatever they want to you. ATP, she's genuinely a danger to society. Her and every one of those 2,000 men need prison and public shaming. Severe public shaming, by the way. Okay, and Landor said, I'm not sure if that's how you say it. So The Economist, right, thinks that Britain's strengths are the same as Bonnie Blue's strengths. What strengths do they mean? Being shafted constantly by thousands of foreigners? Wait till those foreigners find out what people are saying now about Bonnie Blue. Is it a man? I don't know. In 2025, if someone lies back and thinks of England, they may well think of, oh God, Bonnie Blue. The porn star's strength are Britain's strengths. Oh my God. Our political columnist suggests. Yeah, I wouldn't. Jeez. I've got a cough, guys. Hang on a sec. Okay. Sarah Sansoni said Bonnie Blue is now permanently banned from OnlyFans. How bad does it have to be for OnlyFans to ban you? The stunts these girls are doing to promote their sites have finally gotten to be too much. Let's get rid of OnlyFans. Her petting zoo stunt allegedly got her banned from OnlyFans, okay? Crazy. This one is the most crazy. Danny Roscoe said if Bonnie Blue was Carl Butler, a man, it would all make sense. Bonnie walks, talks and acts like a predator, but because it's a woman, there's no scrutiny, no equal rights, no accountability. Change your gender and suddenly it's open season on young lads and we only talk about those who transition to women. But it's a perverse lifestyle. That's exactly what's happening. Plus Bonnie loves big, fast cars. Oh dear. Do you think like a bit of plastic surgery could turn that into that? I don't know, but like she doesn't really, in some pictures I've seen of her, she does not look feminine at all. John O'Looney said, to all the weak men that shag transgender Bonnie Blue, you're all now officially gay. Oh, that would be karma now, wouldn't it? Okay, the opinionated black woman auntie said this is what happens when you go to a Middle Eastern country with your Western privilege. Eyal Yacobi said, breaking, Egyptians are physically throwing out the Western leftists who showed up to march to Gaza. This is hilarious. Oh, dear. Oh, mate. Karma. Karma. Yeah, I'll do more than that. Like, come on. Not that I want to see anyone hurt, but at least give them, enough to go, whoa, we shouldn't have come here. Okay, Data Republican Vance Boelter, the suspect in today's shootings, was CEO of an international NGO called the Red Lion Group. But I couldn't find any photographs or digital records of its work, only a generic website. The Red Lion Group appears to have run out of funding a month or two ago, as that is when he started looking for executive-level roles. Okay, this person apparently. Nick Sautor said, breaking, the suspect who killed Rep Melissa Hortman this morning has been identified as 57-year-old Vance Boelter. Law enforcement tells Julio Rosas. Boelter was a Tim Walz appointee to one of the governor's boards. What a shock connected to Tim Walz. Okay. Where was that? I know I did read about it this morning. Part of USAID awards in Congo. Got cancelled around the time he started job seeking. I want to know what he was doing there. Maybe a 3-letter federal agency knows. Left-wing radical shot her and her husband because she had the audacity to vote against giving free healthcare to illegal immigrants. Minnesota. I was going to say Mississippi, but, I knew I had it wrong. USAID assets in the DRC loses his USAID funding, suddenly shows up in Minnesota dressed as a cop with an official-looking vehicle and kills an elected Democrat official who votes to end illegal alien health care and then injures another elected official. This is a CIA hit, looks like it, doesn't it? Wow. Okay. Rosita Diaz said the Age has revealed that Australia's largest wind farm is one of 2 major Albanese government-backed and taxpayer-funded projects infiltrated by criminal-linked companies as part of a ploy by Australian Workers' Union figures to outmuscle thugs and bikies aligned with the rival CFMEU. Firms with convict connections gained AWU backing to win lucrative work on the $4 billion Golden Plains wind farm project in Victoria, as well as the $300 million Centenary Bridge upgrade project in Brisbane, and are seeking access to other major projects around Australia. What will Albo and Labor do? Nothing, of course. They're best friends with the unions. Albo's first act as PM was to abolish the construction watchdog, and in return the unions donated heavily to Labor. And they're full of criminals, and who is surprised? Are you surprised? I'm not surprised. Now, Libs of TikTok, this is from a day ago, breaking US aid official and 3 company executives pled guilty in fraud and bribery schemes involving at least 14 contracts worth over $550 million. US aid official Roderick Watson took bribes, was showered with lavish gifts, including cash, laptops, thousands of dollars and tickets to a suite at an NBA game, a country club wedding, down payments on 2 residential mortgages, cell phones and jobs for relatives. In exchange for the bribe payments, Watson influenced the award of contracts by manipulating the procurement process at US aid. Watson faces a maximum penalty of 15 years in prison. Imagine how much more fraud there is. US aid official and 3 corporate executives plead guilty to decade-long bribery scheme involving over $550 million in contracts. 2 companies admit criminal liability for bribery scheme and in securities fraud. Okay, back to Australia. Rob Smith said internal Labor polling has revealed Albanese's approval rating with Labor voters has plummeted to 0.05%. Yeah, he's not doing very well. He's fucking up the country. Dear me. Mick Amias said, oh boy, mentioning removing the pathway to citizenship from foreigners, people lose their minds. They instantly say it's migrants that build this country. Yes, European migrants built this country under a nation-building era. There's a difference. Close the pathway now. Save our nation. Yes, before you say it's immigrants that built this country, it was European immigrants, right? It was the Irish, the English, the Welsh, the Italians. Okay, they built this country. First of all, it was just the Irish, English and Welsh criminals, convicts. They might have stole a loaf of bread and got sent to Australia as punishment, away from their families. No, you've got to go and start a new life, building a new country. Off you go. Okay, Holstrong said, breaking, Albo calls off the meeting in person with Trump. Anthony Albanese has decided not to meet with President Trump as previously planned. More to follow. Is this true? I don't know, because apparently he has landed in America to an empty tarmac. But anyway, hey, maybe that's why. Liz Crokin said on... Oh, okay, this is about Laura Loomer again, because I just can't make up my mind. Liz Crokin said, I'll never forget when I watched Laura Loomer cover for Hillary Clinton in real time in 2017. I called her out publicly then here on Twitter, X, and her excuse was absolute utter fucking bullshit. So no, you can't trust her. I don't know. But maybe, yeah. Well, let me think about this. Literally almost every person who has terrorised me in person in my own home non-stop for 9 years straight, on a daily basis, including trying to kill me and my dog, work for Mossad, so do the fucking math. Isaac Cappy warned about Laura Loomer. Okay. Interesting. Secretary Kennedy said the New York Times and other farmer-funded MSM outlets contacted my office this morning, feigning indignation that R.W. Malone MD has a conflict that they suggest might impair his scientific judgment as a member of the new ACIP panel. The New York Times' sudden squeamishness about conflicts of interest on the ACIP panel begs the question, Where has the Times been for the last 20 years, during which individual panellists regularly voted to recommend new procedures owned by companies with which they personally had obscene financial conflicts? The New York Times reporter objected to to the fact that, in 2017, Malone drafted an expert report for a federal case on behalf of a whistleblower, Merck's laboratory director, Stephen Crowling, who accused the company of forcing him to falsify lab reports to inflate the efficacy of the mumps component of its jab. The Times claims that its experts believe that Malone's involvement in these legal proceedings should make him ineligible to vote on future ACIP recommendations. In fact, HHS will, for the first time in history, institute biased policies recommending that the ACIP panellists recuse themselves from decisions in which their current or former clients have financial interest. Certain procedural mandates give these panellists the awesome power to guarantee billion-dollar annual profits to their pharma benefactors from trapped markets of 74 million American children now compelled to purchase a zero-liability product with no legitimate safety testing. Despite years of complaints about conflicts and corruption at ACIP from Congress, the HHS Inspector General and others, the mainstream media has largely remained silent. The single exception to this omerta has been United Press International reporter Mark Benjamin, who summarised the committee's pervasive putrescence in 2003. Benjamin wrote that ACIP panellists often share vaccine patents, own stock in the companies, receive payments for research, or to monitor vaccine trials and receive vaccine maker funding for their academic departments. Mind you, everything mentioned here is theory until proven fact, and everyone mentioned here is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, which I completely forgot to say yesterday. And I got a cough again. Okay. A 2000 congressional investigation offered one example of those conflicts. 4 out of 8 CDC advisory committee members who voted to approve guidelines for the rotavirus vaccine in June 1998 had financial ties to pharmaceutical companies that were developing different versions of it. Despite all the critiques, my predecessors at HHS did virtually nothing to purge the corruption at ACIP. We now have a slate of scientists, physicians and public health experts of impeccable integrity who will vote to promote public health rather than the private profit interests of the New York Times advertisers. Okay, now, Secretary Kennedy wrote this, okay? It wasn't me just saying it, okay? It was Secretary Kennedy that wrote this, YouTube. Yes, there you go. And I don't know whether it's true or not. How do I know, YouTube? Okay. Senator Matt Canavan said this afternoon the New South Wales National Party conference voted... I was being sarcastic, by the way, with that. How do I know it's true? Of course. Senator Matt Canavan said this afternoon the New South Wales National Party conference voted to abandon the commitment to net zero and to advocate for the withdrawal from the Paris Agreement. People are sick and tired of Australians having to pay more for food, power, transport in a resource-rich country that should have the cheapest food and energy prices in the world. Net zero has done nothing but push up the price of everything. It's done zero for the environment because other countries are ignoring their commitments. If we keep pursuing net zero, we'll just lose more Australian jobs to countries that are treating us like mugs. It's time for the Australian government to put Australians first, and do you think they're going to do that? I don't think so. Peter Sweden said this is unreal. Right now, the global elites are meeting in secret at Bilderberg in Stockholm. Albert Bourla, Pfizer CEO, the boss at the WEF, the chair at DSM Firmenich, the company that makes Bovaer. Guess what's on the agenda? Depopulation and migration. And guess what? Media are not allowed to report the meetings. But many mainstream media journalists are in fact invited to take part in the secret meetings. Journalists from the New York Times, The Economist, Bloomberg and more are there. The media is not telling you the truth. It's for the people that didn't get it the first time. Rob Smith said, what an arrogant pig of a man Albanese is. I just watched him get out of the V12 BMW on the tarmac in Canberra to board the taxpayer-funded jet. There was an RAAF captain saluting him at the steps. Albanese didn't even acknowledge him, just barged his way onto the jet. The arrogant pig thinks he's king shit, and he's in a city scumbag. Yes, that's what he is. Okay, Rob Moore has explained socialism, communism, and capitalism, okay? And Labor. Socialism, you have 2 cows, the state takes 1. Communism, you have 2 cows, the state takes both and gives you a ration of milk. Capitalism, you have 2 cows, you sell one, buy a bull and turn it into a herd. Labor, you have 2 cows, the state takes both, drinks the milk, eats the cows, blames the farmer and taxes you for it. Sounds about right. Elon Musk has said the same people who blame the West for everything also consider it a human rights violation to stop the rest of the earth from moving here. Funny that, isn't it? They blame the West for everything, but they really want to move here. Why? If we're so bad. Rob Smith said Albanese's honeymoon is over. He landed in the United States with no Trump administration welcome following years of his Trump's criticism. Tonight it's official. Albanese and Labor are unwelcome in the US. Australia's key alliance is damaged by Labor. Albanese stood alone on the tarmac without Australian media protection. It's over. Albanese has failed internationally. There you go. What an idiot. One sec, guys. A lot of coughing going on. Bro said there's a reason no Arab nations take in any Palestinian refugees, and there's also a reason every country that borders Palestine has border walls and fences protecting them from invading Palestinians. Can someone explain why? Terrorists. Firstly, they would most likely cause security problems. Secondly, the fear of permanent displacement, which should never be the goal, because they destroy every country they get into. They've ruined Lebanon and tried to ruin Jordan. There you go. Who knows? Jordan, Egypt gave them a chance, among others, and they just took over. King of Jordan swiped. Who'd want them? There you go. That's what they do then. They come in and they take over. Okay? RM said, so they've disclosed we have elite vampires in Australia who drink blood. Will this narrative connect to organ harvesting running throughout Australia? Doctors, politicians, musicians? What's the common thread connecting this motley crew? They're all in Australia's secret society of real vampires. They do drink real human blood. Now, what's this? They walk among us. Whoop. Inside Australia's top secret society of real-life vampires. Mobsters, doctors, politicians, musicians. What's the common thread connecting this motley crew? They're all in Australia's secret society of real vampires. Spawned from the goth subculture, this shadowy community known as a vampire court now includes Aussies from all sorts of walks of life. Think real vampires are just pale people drinking cordial, red cordial? Think again. Too many of its followers, True Blood lifestyle is about much more than a fashion, it's about survival. Really? So they can't survive without drinking blood, is that right? Is that what they think? I've got a cough again, sorry guys. Okay, and although they might not transform into bats or live forever, they do drink real human blood, wear surgically enhanced fangs, and let loose at vampire balls. Do they let loose on the vampire's balls? Sorry. These days, their ranks are being quietly pumped by social media and the decline of religion. This is what happens when you don't follow religion. You end up following something dark and awful. I don't see how it's their survival. I still can't get over this. Are you telling me you cannot survive without blood? What a load of bullshit. Okay, just don't ask these creatures of the night to throw light on their very dark way of life, but they claim to keep them to themselves and aren't dangerous, really? Where are you getting the blood from? But critics claim some vampires use this cloak of secrecy to exploit people. So are they really monsters, medical mysteries, or just misunderstood? No, they're delusional. I want revenge. For centuries, no, that's not me saying it, this is the article saying it, YouTube. For centuries, vampire folklore has compelled us. Tales of blood-sucking beasts can be found in ancient cultures around the world, including First Nations peoples. Well, they used to eat each other. They were cannibals. Is this what they're trying to hide, that they're actually cannibals? But in the last few decades, they've been forever fixed in pulp culture as a romanticised symbol of finding identity in the world. Oh, dear God. Yeah, I think we need to make asylums great again. Bring them back. We need quite a few people locked up, according to me anyway. Okay, yeah, they've been romanticised. This romanticism is at the heart of the complex history between real vampires and Sydney local Crystal, who does not wish to share her real name. On one hand, Crystal claims they've drugged her, drank her blood without consent, even forced her to drink the blood of others. On the other hand, she remains transfixed by their mythical morbidity. For Crystal, it all began when she was invited to an opulent mansion party in Sydney's affluent suburb of Vaucluse when she was just 18. Crystal, who was drawn to Gothic culture at the time, said the house belonged to the father of a friend who worked as a nurse. Oh, that's where they're getting the blood from, probably. Inside the party, she claims to have found herself in imposing company. She was greeted by Yakuza and triads, otherwise known as the Japanese and Chinese mafia. They were just standing around wearing suits and watching anime movies, Crystal told news.com.au. And they weren't shy about what they did. As it happened, the mafia is not the only bloodthirsty group these men belonged to. Crystal soon learned they were part of the Australian chapter of an international vampire court. Inside, Crystal says she was given a glass of champagne. Soon after drinking it, she claimed she sat on a couch and lost consciousness. When she woke up, she alleges she felt lightheaded and her neck and arms were dotted by what she calls love bites. Looking back, she believes she'd been drugged. There are no other signs of assault. I didn't know what to think at the time, she says. I would have never gone back if it was me. Don't know what you were doing there in the first place, but anyway. Before she left, Crystal was given a dark diagnosis. They told me I'd been infected with the virus. Sounds like the government. She never reported her experience to the police. Indeed, real vampires would come back to haunt her before long. After moving to Newcastle Monastery to study business, Crystal met members of a local court. While things started safely, one night the group pressured her to drink from a bottle of red. It was human blood mixed with cordial. So they do drink red cordial, see? They said, it's time to join us, says Crystal. I can imagine all black cloaks. It's time to join us, says Crystal. You can't choose to join this society. They choose you, apparently. Feeling powerless, well, she had a choice. Okay, she could have said no. Anyway, feeling powerless, Crystal agreed. But the court came harder than ever. Another night, Crystal woke with puncture wounds on her wrist. I would have been out after the first lot. Crystal believes the vampires had fed on her while she slept. She kept quiet about the incident because the court had powerful people on their side. There are doctors, nurses, business owners and musicians, she said. It's very secretive. From the outside, they live normal lives. Until now, Crystal kept her experience to herself out of fear she would not be taken seriously, or worse. But now she wants to raise awareness, really. She wants revenge for how she was treated, she says. I think someone's panicking, trying to get out of some shit they've done. That's what it sounds like to me. Despite this messy history, Crystal's experience with the court was forever imprinted onto her self-image. She hopes to one day launch a safe space for people to appreciate vampire culture. Why? This woman is insane. Medical mystery. Crystal's disturbing account is not unlike a scene in a horror movie where vampires lunge from the shadows and maul victims' necks before sucking on the flowing wine-like liquid. It's important to note that vampiric crime is rare and abuses of power are far from unique to the courts. For most members, this community offers a sense of belonging, and some courts are heavily involved with charity causes. Not all real vampires feed on blood, and for those who do, the practice is traditionally safe. Oh dear God, I can't believe what I'm reading. So how does this work? What is known as a donor will willingly offer their blood to the vampire. Both take medical tests and other precautions. Complications are rare, which is fine, but it begs another question. Why? Real vampires claim they feel sick and lethargic if they don't feed on human blood. It balances their energy. Did they take any procedures over their lifetime? Could be why they feel sick and lethargic. I feel sick and lethargic every day. I'm not going to go and drink blood. Some people believe this thirst for blood is a sign of a deeper mental health problem. Yes. Make asylums great again and lock them all up. I don't care if they're nurses, doctors, barristers, or what, judges. I don't give a shit. If you're doing this, you got something wrong with your head, seriously. So is it all a big delusion? Yes, it is. When vampires follow a code of silence, it's not easy to say, but that secrecy is well founded. They've learned the hard way their lifestyle inspires revulsion. That's why this community stays in the shadows. Most Australian vampires I contacted for this story declined to take part, and of course they did. And how did you know who they were? One local fanged figure said, "You need to know is Jason DeMarco, otherwise known as Don Jason. Don Jason runs the Sydney Vampires meetup group. He's also an electioneering member of the Liberal Party, bringing new meaning to the idea of blood-sucking Polly. At least this one's honest." In a YouTube video made by married artist Gillian Mark Shatner, Jason is seen wearing Edwardian-era clothing, surgically enhanced fangs and a wide smile. Among the graves of Waverley Cemetery, he says Don Jason first knew what he was aged 4. Yeah, mentally ill. "I was different to other children, yes, mentally ill." Jason said, "I'm going to grow up and be Dracula, mentally ill." He says he drinks exclusively from the razor-sliced thighs of female donors. They don't just consent to this feeding, they're aroused by it. Oh, dear God, well, they need locked up too. He said they seem to get an orgasm off it every time. "People can assume we're insane. Why do you have this need to drink blood? The only thing I have to worry about is my innate illness, which was ironically an illness associated with the vampire myth. My vitals can shut down and I look like a corpse. People who had it used to be buried alive." Mark Shatner said Don Jason suffers from porphyria. I don't know. I've got a cough. Why don't they just buy some blood sausage and eat that instead? Anyway. Some from this shit thing here, porphyria, a rare blood disorder thought to have inspired early vampire mythology. So they made it real. It can cause symptoms like extreme sensitivity to sunlight, skin blisters and reddish-purple discoloration, he said. Jason is an extreme example. Some people just like vampires for a good old-fashioned doof. What's a doof? Not merely an event. The dawn of the vampire ball is misty. Sometime during the rise of Europe's medieval masquerade balls, a darker event emerged in honour of the undead. These days, the vampire ball circuit is an international network spanning Romania, the US and Australia. Melbourne's annual Carp Noctem Vampire Ball was recently held in April. The founder of the event, who was asked to remain anonymous, said it's about something bigger than costumes. More than just an opportunity to don elaborate attire, The Carp Noctem Vampire Ball is a celebration of identity and belonging. You belong in a mental institution. That's where you belong. You'll find a lot of belonging in that mental institution, let me tell you right now. After a signature bloodbath cocktail, ingredients undisclosed, the crowd, comprised of goths, role players and the real deal, take part in rituals, including a sacrifice that lifts a veil between the living and the dead. If they're dead, just bury them. Really, really deep, okay? If they think they're the undead, what did they use? Stake through the heart, silver bullet, that type of thing? I don't know. Australian vampires, few real vampires claim to have magical powers. You'll find them in Twilight. But if I had to throw money on one of them being superhuman, Andreas Bathory is the one. He dwells on the sprawling grounds of Bran's Dracula Castle in Romania's Transylvania. That's a mouthful. With these walls, Bathory drinks donated blood, sometimes sleeps in a coffin and channels Vlad the Impaler. Another case for an asylum. It's not merely an event, Bathory says, it's a portal. Bathory's the leader of the Ordo Dracul, a vampire court based in Transylvania, and he says more and more Aussies are signing up. You insane freaking people. New initiates are joining from Australia. Some of my dearest allies come from Melbourne and the Gold Coast, he said. Australia resonates with the old blood. Oh, dear God. You look like you should be in a coffin, mate, seriously. Bathory believes these vampires thrive in silence. Just because we're not loud doesn't mean we're not present. In our world, we prefer to walk the line of shadows. Realise their full potential. The University of Western Sydney's Dr. Adam Passamai charted the rise of real vampire in his book, Sociology of Religion for Generations X and Y. You can fuck it right off, mate. He believes it's a hyper-real religion, a modern hybrid of religion, philosophy and popular culture that helps people find their identity in a noisy world. Turn to God and you'll find your identity in a noisy world. It's easy. A vampire is no longer a monster that needs to be destroyed, he said. You reckon? Want to make a bet? I don't know. It's now a superhuman type of character that people aspire to become to realise their full potential. And what potential is that? What potential are you getting from becoming a mentally ill vampire to being a normal person? Anywho, as society becomes more consumerist, I expect hyper-real religions like vampires to grow, but it's tricky to quantify. This is first world problems, seriously. If you had to make sure of your survival, this wouldn't be happening. This is why we got to get back on our farms. You got to take your day up with things that, you just got to survive. Not to have all this shit just readily available to go, oh, I feel like being a vampire today. Oh, frickin' weirdos. Okay, are they people who identify with the image alone? How far do their practices go and how long will they keep them up? Though Australian vampire groups have thousands of members on social media, the Australian Bureau of Statistics said in a statement they don't formally recognise vampires. Vampires don't describe a standalone group in any of the statistical standard classifications used to disseminate census data, a spokesperson said. Well, there you go. You're not part of a club, are you? You're not part of you're not even recognised, you bloody idiots. The ABS regularly reviews statistical standard classification and holds public consultations to ensure standard classifications reflect the Australian community. Until vampires are socially acknowledged, no thank you, we will never know how many of them walk among us or what secrets they hold. I don't want to know. Nelson Groom is a freelance writer. His novel, The Auction, is coming soon. I don't care. Yeah. What did you think of that one? Weirdos. Asylums. Hello, asylums. And Buck asked, are you this red-pilled? Yes, I am that red-pilled. If you don't know what this is, you just need to look at, was it Podesta's artwork? That had kids hanging from these ropes, okay? Allegedly, okay, allegedly. But you go and look at the artwork, Podesta's artwork, and you will see children in a pool, an empty pool, being hung from the sides by their arms. Yes, I'm that red-pilled, okay? For those who want to know. Topher Fields said, noticing them? I am them. To be clear, I have no immediate plans to leave. Everyone's thinking of leaving Australia, okay? I'll read this one first because then that one will make sense. Fred Paul said, I'm constantly meeting people who are actively seeking ways to leave Australia. These people are all alike, hard-working taxpayers and asset owners. Their pessimism for Australia's demographic, social and economic future is overwhelming. Is anyone else noticing this? Well, Topher Fields said, noticing, I am them. To be clear, I have no immediate plans to leave, but I'm putting in place the necessary foundations so that if the day comes that I do make that decision, I can act on it quickly. My children will not suffer for the stupidity of their countrymen. If push comes to shove, we will leave Australians to enjoy the consequences of their own actions without us. Australia is no longer the place you grew up in. Do with that information what you will. What about the rest of us who are stuck because we're broken? We cannot afford to go anywhere else. Yeah, just leave us behind. Don't fight for it, you know. Look, I love Topher Field, right? But I do believe you need to stay and fight for your country. And you should not be running away. Okay, how much of a man does it look like when you're running away the other way, mate? Come on. Okay, anyway, that is the news. I'm getting a bit longer here. 51 minutes worth of news today. Better than yesterday. Let's go back as far as we can. To the beginning. Off we go. Okay. Raven said, g'day to all Hev fam. And Kai, and you got J1 and Conchega. And Edwin, who's calling me Greta Garbo of YouTube. God love him. I wish. Raven said the update on Mr. Moon is it was his heart. He's off the oxygen, sitting up. Oh, good to hear. Oh, got a cough again. Cough, 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 cough. Well, I'm glad to hear he's doing a little bit better, Luna. God love you. Still praying for Mr. Moon. Meg said, sorry to hear about your chicken, Hev. It's always hard. Yes, it is. It is when you find out that no one's going to help you and you've got to do it yourself. That's the hardest bit. And she was too far gone. Like, I knew there was no bringing her back. She wasn't moving. So the things you do and this is like, we've been removed so far from where our food comes from that's why, like, I just stood there in tears in the backyard after I did it for like a few minutes. Just at the thought of what I had to do and, like, you know. And then rang my daughter and bawled my eyes out to her as well. Oh, it's just but we need to know this is what happens. It's not all just fun and games and, you know. We are so far removed. Okay. Kai, and thank you, Meg. God love you. Kai said thank you and love and blessings to you. Yeah, they're our pets, yeah. Yeah, I don't look at my chickens as food. They're like pets, okay? Shannon said, I didn't know you were on. I sent a message. Because you messaged me this morning. Shannon said, I thought he was sick and wasn't coming on today. I have. I wasn't going to. But then I started looking at Twitter, right? And I found all this news and I thought, look, I could just keep bookmarking, so I better just do a stream now. I was going to do a video and then I went, stuff it, just get on and do a stream. So there you go. Conchega said, no, we are not fake news and most of the wars going on are fought in the fake news media. It's all a movie, folks. FYI, Australia was registered in 2017 in Delaware, R.E. Caroline Kennedy. Ooh. You know what I heard about this war? While the war's going on above ground, Israel and Iran are helping to disseminate the underground. That's what I heard. I don't know if it's true. I've got to blow my nose. I'm going to mute for a sec. Oh, no, I didn't mute that one. Okay. Shannon said I've been choking the chicken. Well, yeah, I had to euthanize the poor chicken. Yep, sad, but, had to be done. Conchega said Albo is just a putrid actor. Shannon said Albo's crazy in the coconut. Yes, he is. Remember that song? What was that song called? It was a scientist guy. Oh, my God. Now, Shannon, tell me who sung that and what the song was. Because now it's, he's crazy in the coconut. I've got it on CD somewhere. Anyway, Conchega Yowie said Elbow was sorted a few years ago. Yes. Yeah, we're just reading the insanity of it all. Shannon said drunk again. Lol, no wonder he fell off the stage with those stick legs. He's drunk again and looking to score. Oh, dear. J1 said, Alco Benesi. Yeah, he's an Alco Benesi, all right. Shannon said 10, 4, 20, GJT, 45, 47, 17, Q+, where we go? Oh, happy birthday. J1 said the blue flute musician. Conchega said we have lost more of our brave soldiers, sailors and birdies to suicide than what was lost in conflict. Yes. And it's freaking sad. Shannon said, yeah, no, it's like throwing a sausage down a freshly mopped hallway. Yes. Yes, I don't get that Bonnie Blue shit at all. I really don't. Stupidity. That mental asylum. She needs a mental asylum, mate. She is like a danger to herself and other women. Okay, doing that shit. Conchega Yowie said wearing the Freemason duality colours. Oh. Shannon said, lol, Jacinta is a man. Johap. Yeah, exactly. Shannon said the Yowie knows. Raven said this world is going downhill fast. How can people not see how messed up this shit is? Exactly. Stu said, what a way to wake up. Hey, George, how you going? Good to see ya. And Shannon, I just got what Shannon meant by saying, hey, your windows. We have a glass company here in Australia called O'Brien. And that's, Shannon is saying hello to George when he says, hey, your windows. That's the Aussie sense of humour. Yes, George, Bonnie Blue is a slag. Shannon said, Bonnie Blue looks like a car crashed down. Yeah. Blah, blah. I don't even want to know. I don't care. Like, I don't have any interest in that. Someone sew her up, will ya? Sew her legs together, man. Oh, she really needs an asylum, that girl. Conchega said Shannon called research. Yes, it is. Hey, Menacing Muskrat, how you going? Menacing Muskrat said lots happening. Bilderberg, Army 250 Parade, G7, then Davos. Holy smokes, yes. Yes, it is all happening at once. And Stu said CFMEU boots. Yeah, well, to me, they're all criminals. I don't know, including our government. They're all criminals. Okay, that's just how I see it. George said the UK is spending £4.2 billion a year on the illegals. Isn't that crazy? Imagine what they could do for your country, that money, instead of using it on illegals. Conchega said criminal link companies would include our corporate government. Definitely, I agree with you on that one. 100%, mate. Menacing Muskrat said we are doing well, but wildfires are still fierce. Please pray for Tetsa River. BC? Oh, yes, definitely, Menacing Muskrat. Prayers for anyone in the way of any fires there. And, sorry, and for Luna and her hubby, boyfriend, whatever, you know, your partner. And, yeah, anyone else, Kai, anyone who needs it, prayers. My mum is in hospital. So if I can ask for prayers as well, please. As I said, she's going downhill. She has been for a while, but the last 2 weeks, apparently she's gone down pretty quickly. They happen to be the 2 weeks I've been very sick for and haven't been down to see my mum, unfortunately. And now she's in the hospital. I have the flu. I don't know if I'm allowed to go anywhere near a hospital with the flu. But I want to go and see my mum. So I don't know what to do. But please, if you have a spare prayer in your heart, could you please pray for my mum? We don't know if she's going to go into palliative care. We don't know if that's it. We don't know what's going on. So we're just got to wait and find out. Jules of Southern Oregon said, hello. I'm running in from the Apache Reservation, NE, Arizona, 8,000 foot level. Cool up here. Oh, nice, Jules. Good to see ya. Conchega said, Stu, hey, Bubbles, my girlfriend ran the precursor to the old BLF. This CFMEU is just a standover organisation and C-Bust is just a honeypot for the retired. That does not surprise me, Conchega. Stu said, Kai, hope you're okay, mate. Jules said, Kai, I miss you. J1 said, hi, Jules. That sounds beautiful, doesn't it? Menacing Muskrat said, hi, Kai. I'm hooked on my lunch break. Awesome, thank you. Shannon said, once again, they keep forgetting the illegal part of the word. Exactly. Kai said, I'm getting along. Had 20-minute stretch today where I couldn't remember the word towel, but I'm all right. Oh, God, love you, Kai. Look, I have moments where I forget words too, but I mean, I'm not, as damaged. Sorry. I'm praying for you, Kai. That's all I can say. Conchega said, Menacing Muskrat, my youngest is there at the moment. I won't be telling his mother, though. Kai said, MLB is mind-blowing. Shannon said, was about to say, why does Albo fear Trump? I wonder why. Jules said, Jay, more beauty than I deserve, lolling. George said, Albo's a lefty twat. He definitely is. And I got a cough again. Okay, that was a big cough. But I agree, George, Albo is a lefty twat. Shannon said, Laura Loomer's a man. Yeah, I've been hearing that, yeah. Noticing Muskrat said, whereabouts, Conchega? Conchega said, Shannon, because DJT knows that Australia's a corporation that was dissolved in 2023 and that he is an actor that does not conform and is fraudulent, we became the 53rd state. I hope so. My God, I hope we are an American state right now. Now I've got to blow my nose again. Oh, for goodness sake. Hang on a sec, guys. When I get the flu, I really get the flu. Okay. George says Starmer's been forced into a national inquiry over the grooming gangs. That's good. He needs to be. If they won't hold an inquiry themselves, then they have to be forced into it. Kai said, Yowie, really? They haven't announced that yet. Welcome aboard. Stu said, have you sound a bit better today? Oh, spoke too soon. Yeah, I know. I keep thinking I'm better when I wake up in the morning and then it goes downhill from there. Oh, shit. Yep, Jules is praying for Kai. We're all praying for Kai. Menacing Muskrat saying hello to George. Stu said sound. Did I leave my sound off or something? Did I not unmute myself? George said, I'm okay, thanks, Menacing. How are you? Stu said it must suck having to work whilst the fires are burning. Oh, I couldn't imagine it with the flu that I've got right now, trying to breathe, right? I go outside and it's like, well, it's not like a bushfire out there. Like people have their fires lit. And yeah, I have trouble. Conchega said, Menacing Muskrat, he doesn't say. Only that he is in BC and heading to Alberta in August. He was doing some work for the CCE and will go to Alberta to do some post-election work. Shannon said the media is complicit. They are the enemy of the people. Oh, they sure are. Menacing Muskrat stuck a Rumble link in there for anyone. It looks like it's on the Bilderberg stuff. Conchega said, Kai, looking forward to open carry, mate. There are now 55 stars on DJ. Oh, please let us be one of them. Oh, please. And do you know that we have Australian politicians now starting to speak up, and Topher Field, about being armed and having castle law and being able to defend ourselves in our homes due to the news. Thanks, news. With all the gang violence going on, you have actually made Australians want guns back. Well done. Conchega said, Kai, you have one of the best national anthems on this earth, much better than our white supremacist one. George said, send in Blade. Shannon said, gold windows, well done. Kai said, Yowie, there's a rendition from there, I ruined it, called Chris Cornell, We Miss You, It's Chilling. Ooh. Shannon said, release the Daywalker. Yeah, Shannon, adrenochrome, right? That's what these vampires are. The bloodsuckers, right? You know you can get, what's it called? Spiritual vampires as well. They're probably that too, right? They suck the good out of everything. Oh, Stu said vampire balls. Yeah, it was just when I read that they have vampire balls, right? I just thought, oh, do vampires have balls? Okay, I don't know. Conchega said, Julie Bishop, Scott Morrison, both members of the Red Shoe Club. Most of our pollies worship Saturnalia. The black cube is in the foyer of Parliament House. That does not surprise me, Conchega. Stu said, if you lose over 2 litres, you're in trouble. Yeah, well, how have you got a whole group of people, right? How have you got a vampire ball? What, and you got one person passed out on the couch and everyone's drinking their blood? I don't know about that. I think they've got people in there who probably don't want to be there. You know what I mean? Kidnapped. Have they been kidnapped? Some people? I don't know. But that's where the adrena would come in. Conchega said, Kai, tar, mate, we'll look it up. Shannon said, Black Cube in Federation Square, Melbourne. Oh, no. Flyby, good morning to you, us, and g'day to the rest of you. How you going, Flyby? Good to see ya. Shannon said, fine young cannibals. Yes. She drives me crazy, said George. Yeah. That song. She drives me crazy. Like no one else. She drives me crazy and I can't help myself. Yeah. Yeah, I remember them. Fine young cannibals. I don't know how fine they are. Stu said, Johnny, I'm worried. Won't you come on home? Oh. Yeah, it's funny when you listen to things when you're older too. There's a lady on YouTube who does it. She's a Oh, how do I do this? Hang on. Look, I'm just going to subscribe, right, while I search for, go home. Go to shorts. Where are shorts? Huh? There. It's in a different place. Oh, no, hang on. Shh. I'm trying to find a certain lady. Oh, look, next time I come across her, I'll put it in a post on the community board and you'll see it. If you've got all the bells ticked, you know, to sub to me. I like this too, calisthenics. But yeah, hang on. Okay, every one of them's got music. Shivers. Can I just not have the music? How do I turn it off? But will that do it for the next one? Oh, yeah, it does. Oh, there you go. Where is the lady who's doing the music? Oh, this guy. An Irish guy called Garen. Garen Music. Hilarious guy, right? If you haven't subbed to him yet, go and sub to him. Funny as. I probably won't be able to find her. You watch. And now when I see YouTube shorts, all I hear is the Arizona sky. No, I can't find the girl now. Where did she go? Did I sub to her? Hang on. Let me just see if I've subbed to this lady. Who am I subbed to? A lot of people. Show more of this. Am I subbed to her? It doesn't look like I am. Oh, the twin mama. Hang on. That twin mama, sorry. This lady, she is bloody hilarious, right? When you really listen to the lyrics, okay? Gen X 90s music. And then she's singing along, right? And then she comes across some lyrics that, like, you know, when you're younger, not really appropriate. And she goes, oh. Like now, her face changes. She's like, what? She's really good as well, okay? Okay. So that's one. Oh, did I sub to? Oh, God. Right, I'm going to have to try it again later. I'm going to sub to her. But anyway. Yeah, she does that, like, you know, when you listen to songs when you're a bit older, you go back and listen to the actual words of them, you're like, oh, how inappropriate. Conchega said, our First Nations were cannibalistic in nature. The Dravidians that came here from India ate their way through this landmass and annihilated the pygmy mob. Yes, I've heard the same thing, Conchega. Shanna said, blood bank. Stu said, I was listening to that last night. Flyby Stu said, George, you're early. Conchega said, Shannon, also a few bulls equals Moloch dotted around the place as well. Stu said, hope you're well, Flyby. Conchega said, the Red Cross sell 85% of the donated blood, especially the negative. Oh. Shannon said, bulls and owls are the male and female of Moloch. Moloch. Flyby said, so, yo, Stu, how's you? Shannon said, the Rock has Moloch tattoos and eats baby. Really? Stu said, a day older than I was yesterday, still okay, thank you kindly. Conchega said, Shannon, look into some of the old movies. There was one done in the 1920s, complete with throwing the babies into fires. Oh, dear God. Conchega said, Shannon, she sure does. Kai said, almost all fast food is soylent. Ah, yeah, that would not surprise me. That's why you make your own. Conchega said, and microplastics. Stu said, Queenslanders eat steers, nuts and call them prairie oysters. Kai said, yep, but most people. Shannon said, menu must be limited now. They make everyone take the jab. Jules said, microplastic blood. Flyby Stu said, g'day, Hev, you check the video? What video? Cannibalism. Kai said, cannibalism leads to dementia and Alzheimer's. J1 said, blood clots on toast for breakfast. Conchega said, Stu, sheep's nuts are called the same but desert oysters. Jules said, yuck. Yeah. Kai said, I live on fast food for the longest time. Stu said, yowie, we don't lie. Flyby Stu said, skinheads on a raft, is that the same? Oh, George, it's black pudding, yes, black pudding. That. Why don't they just eat that if they need blood? Why don't they just eat, like, the animal's blood that comes off a steak when you leave it in the fridge? Shannon said, True Blood and all the vampire movies attempt to normalise vampirism. Yes, they did. Shannon said, Ecky Thump, sorry. Geez, how did I mistake that for Trump? Menacing Muskrat said, interview with a vampire. Tom Cruise isn't too far off. Conchega said, Kai, we only eat fish and chips occasionally, a pizza from a non-fast food chain. J1 said, George, Icky Thumb. Shannon said, Twilight movies, etc. Kai said, that's probably the best. Conchega said, Shannon, the goodies. Goody, goody, yum, yum. Yes, I used to love the goodies when I was a kid. Okay, Raven Lilith said, black pudding is awesome, but I'm not stuffed in the head to think I'm a vampire. Like, what a nutter. George said, Interview with a Vampire is a good movie. I haven't seen it. Stu said, I was typing those words, have as you spoken. Flyby said, Shannon, same as zombie, alien, SRA and any other conspiracy theory? Shannon said, yes, Santa Clarita. Is it Clarita? Santa Clara? I'm sure it's Santa Clarita or something. Hang on. We're about to find out. Yep. Santa Clarita Diet. Oh. Do we dare? No, I don't want to take your weight loss pills, thank you. The Santa Clarita Diet was a horror comedy series starring Drew Barrymore and Timothy Oliphant as a zombie couple. Netflix cancelled it after 3 seasons due to its costs plus budget, model and low viewership. Despite critical acclaim and fan campaigns. In other words, it's blood. And they're giving you, look. I'd be worried about why this is in here. Like a Weight Watchers and UpDoc, like, why are they in the same Santa Clarita search? Now just let's find out what Santa Clarita is. Okay, no, I don't want to know the best things to do in it. I want to know what the belief is. Is there a belief or like a religion? Let's have a look. No, it's got regional theatre and regional centre. What happens when I press enter, though? Oh, you got the Santa Clarita Seventh-day Adventist. Whoa. Is that just the place that it's in? I don't know. But, yeah, drinking blood seems to be the thing. Okay. Okay, where are we up to? Stu said, oh, Werewolves of London. Conchega said, Raven, there are Loop Guru reportedly in the Adelaide Hills was contacted by a family member. I don't even know what that is. Conchega said, Stu looking for a plate of cheap chow mein. Stu said, not forgetting the AL. His hair was perfect. Shanna said, cheap chow mein is a slippery slope. Flyby said, which political side of Empire's on? I don't care. They need an asylum. Menacing Muskrat said, mentally unstable caused by Kuru, just saying. Stu said, Roland the Thompson gunner, talk about the man. George said the best vampire was Christopher Lee. J1, Gloria Vanderbilt's. Yes, that pool. Yes. J1 said Elon was sodomised in that pool. Sure it was Elon? Conchega said Stu not in Soho in the rain. Oh, okay, it jumped. Yeah, follow him is delicious. Exactly, Shannon. You know. That's the Irish Garin music. Okay, oh shit, I'm way back. Holy guacamole. Okay. Shannon said, bore, dang, dang, dang. I don't know what that is. Stu said, blue moon, you caught me standing alone. Kai said, Muskrat is correct, caused by eating human brain tissue mixed in the fast food burgers. Oh, dear. Conchega said, no, that is true unless you live on Norfolk Island, as that is Australia, according to the Interpretations Act of 1901. Flyby Stu said, Hev, who's the common law Aussie called, Barry or Dr. Barry? I don't know. George said, Blue Moon, American Werewolf in London. Yes, definitely. I used to love that movie when I was young, like a teenager. Stu said, it's soul-crushing. Kai said, Luna, hope it keeps improving. Did Luna say something that I missed? I don't know. Okay. Kai said, Luna, hope it keeps improving. Conchega said, Flyby, FYI, keep away from him, he's dodgy. Flyby said, give me some dog soldiers. Shannon said, running around like a headless chook, myth busted. Yes, no, it does, no, it doesn't, no. George said, Dog Soldiers is a good werewolf movie as well, Fly. Oh, is it really? I didn't know it was a werewolf movie. Wow. Flyby said, Kay, yeah, we just seen a video, just checking the easy way. Cheers. Kai said, Stu. J7ST, the way it is, just the way it is, my friend. George said, The Howling. I think I saw that when I was really young. My father and my brother were very into horror movies, and yeah, it's either watch them or go and play in your room. Yeah. Kai said, I'll eventually just not be chats anymore. Poofed. Oh, no. Menacing Muskrat said, the lime and the coconut and mix it all up. Stu said, poor chickens get a poor deal, choking the chicken, feeding the chooks. Shannon said, the Avalanches, the song is Frontier Psychology. That's it. Thank you. Thank you, Shannon. Frontier Psychology by the Avalanches. Yeah. Good song. Very weird, but very interesting. Conchega said, George watched that in a cinema when it started morphing. The bloke next to me jumped in my lap and started screaming and pulling my hair. Oh, no. Kai said, anyone seen the chick with the pet lizard? No. Stu said, we be brave, all right. Kai said, cuddling and looking terrible. Oh, no. Menacing Muskrat said, Hev, what is no kings? Is that a Soros crap? I think it is. Kai said, thing runs over like a cat. Conchega said, George, he denies it to this day, but the others that were there correct him. Kai said, Muskrat, yes, most likely. Flyby said, Menacing Muskrat, us again, g'day to you and yours. George said, Shannon's been calling me Windows for ages, lol. Yeah, I kept on thinking, what's he calling? Like, what's this Windows thing, right? Oh, my God. And I think I just got it. I think I got it ages ago, forgot about it, and then just got it again. Stu said, that one went through to the keeper, yowie. Kai said, all these riots are to eventually manufacture consent for widespread surveillance of the worldwide population. Yeah, Stuart, come me boots. That's what, yep, that's what high boots are called in Australia, okay? When you wear the high boots, you know. Conchega said, menacing muskrat, yes, funded by the Walton family as well. Kai said, and everyone at Davos. Raven said, French onion soup with homemade cheesy onion bread. Oh, my God, that sounds beautiful. Raven, can you make me some and send that up? No, I'm kidding. Out to lunch said Shannon's chicken choker. Conchega said, menacing muskrat, she now has been summoned before a committee to explain her actions. Stu said, yummy, yum, yum, yum. I'll say, Raven, oh, my God, French onion soup with homemade cheesy onion bread. Sounds, oh my mouth's watering. George said, prayers for your mum, Hev. Yep, thank you, guys. Raven's praying for mum, menacing muskrat. Flyby Stu said, Bilderberg shit show about to start over in wherever it is, so I hear. Stu said, I didn't get that message, bro. I agree 100%. Kai said, this is the part that Q said has to be so horrible that anyone who survived would never allow anything like it again. Exactly. Kai, yep. Menacing Muskrat said, hello, Flyby. Did you find that pic? Lol, I just had to send that. Lol, much love. Shannon said, stealth cough. Yes, they come out of nowhere and all of a sudden I'm choking. Kai said, one from Canada, 2 more states from... Ooh, let's find out. I can't wait. Stu said, it's only a bird. Lol, my cellmate ruse marsupial. Giant mice, he loves punching on with them. Oh, no. I don't agree with that unless you're under threat, to be honest. I don't agree with just going up and punching kangaroos for no reason unless they're threatening you or you don't have a firearm to shoot their butt. Shannon said, Oz, USA, not the deep state, US, yeah. Menacing Muskrat said, Hev, think about all those antibodies you're building. I should be full of them by now. I got a cough again. Oh, no. Okay. Stu said, in your Fred. Shannon said, Greenland, Canada, Australia. Yes. At least. Conchega said, Hev, that is your immune system at work. There are impurities in your system it's trying to remove. Let it run and don't stifle it with pharma crap. No, I'm not taking any Oh, well, I am actually. Because I had a bad sinus infection, and I believe probably chest infection now, or at the time, I had to take antibiotics. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm on big pharma crap. Menacing Muskrat said, you're 5 by 5, Hev. Stu said, on your Fred, not in ya. Oh, no. Oh, there you go. Whoops. Kai said, nice. Flyby said, Menacing Muskrat, good to see you. I'm broken at the moment. Still got the phone, but no solution as yet. Oh, no. Conchega said, Shannon, New Zealand, along with some Pacific nations as well, will be part of the Kingdom of America, 1 of 7. Kai said, Stu, no Bonnie Blue for you, huh? Stu's laughing at Kai. Conchega said, research the act of settlement. Protestants can bear arms. Oh. So if I'm a Protestant, right, can I bear arms? Shannon said, yes, Australia, New Zealand is what I mean. Flyby Stu said, Hev, it depends on what pronoun you use. Ooh. Out to lunch said, do the people drinking the blood pass out like the drugged girl? I don't know. But how are you going out to lunch? Shannon said, what do you have if you hold a cricket ball in your left hand and a cricket ball in your right hand? A giant, pissed off, slightly aroused cricket. Oh, great. Raven said, I so have to do a trip to your way, Hev. Oh, God, yes. Raven, you can make me some of that French onion soup with that cheesy onion bread. Oh, my goodness. Kai said she drives like crazy. Her car's a mess. She drives like crazy, and I'm afraid for myself. Stu said that's Hev's pool cleaner. What is my pool cleaner? Nursing Noscrat said, oh, my flyby, but you are doing the fine, right? Oh, you're doing fine, right? Kai's laughing at Shannon. Shannon said, lol, Kai truly doesn't fear death. Shannon said, follow him, he's delicious. Yes. Flyby Stu knows too. Follow me, I'm delicious. Yes. That guy. He is bloody good. Good value, mate, for an Irish man. No, they're all good value, I mean, you know. Hev, shut up. I'm delirious, I've got the flu, okay? Just bear with me. Kai said, nope, it's unavoidable anyway. George said, Garen's a joker, I've been subbed to him for a while. Out to lunch said, how is the music not getting in trouble posting on YouTube? Because apparently shorts are different. Apparently, shorts, you can put the music in. Okay? I don't know why. YouTube's, I don't know. It doesn't make any freaking sense at all. Out to lunch said, for the other person posting. George said, good-looking woman. Kai said, artist renditions. Stu said, if I had a rooster, I'd call him Don after Don Henley. J1 said, chocolate starfish. Ooh. Yeah, imagine calling yourself chocolate starfish. Far out. Some of these things, you know. Jules said, Hev, so sorry about your mum sending prayers your way. Oh, thank you. God love you. Kai said, version. Shannon said, come, said the boy. Let's go down to the shore. Let's do what we want to do. Let me be a man for you. Except I'm not a man. Out to lunch said, Supertramp. Flyby said, trip last week and broke my ribs. Not nice, but on the old DMSO plus painkillers. Oh, well done, Flyby. Kai said, messy beach. Menacing Muskrat said, remember America means plumed serpent and Vatican is Latin for den of serpents. Oh, interesting. George said, ouch, fly. Stu said the Eagle Rock was referring to spreading of the... Really? Oh, my God. I'll never look at that song the same way again. Shannon said, yes, I've seen it. Yowie, Snarky McAllister has lots of content on old movies, lots of trannies. Stu said, doing the Eagle Rock, yeah. I don't know about that song anymore. Kai said, Flyby, I hope that's better soon. Out to lunch said, what do rooster eggs and bull's milk have in common? They don't exist. Flyby said, the unravelling, remember, Hev? Yeah. Stu said, out to what? Out to lunch said they both come from cocks. Kai said, castroti, nutless, falsetto is a total chop job. Jules said, I'm suffering from ponderosa pine pollen. Oh, no. That's nearly a tongue twister, that one, Jules. I hope you're all right. I hate when I get allergies. Senator said, been lurking, but I think we need to accept that the human body is just a drug-making machine. Some vampires know this. Kai said, Xena is correct. Everyone saying hello, Xena? Kai said, we are cattle. The cattle, said Stu, will be okay after I fed it. Xena said, hi, everyone. It's taken me this long for the chat to load. Big weekend and Rath Downy for every man and his horse. Out to lunch said, Moomy. Flyby said, Xena, good to see you. Everyone's saying hello and what's going on down there. And Xena saying hello back to everybody. And Stu said, Kai, that's rude. Menacing Muskrat, yes, said the movie Death Becomes Her is about Adrena. Yep, it is. I've still got to get that movie. So we can watch it, do a watch along. George said, horse racing, Xena. Shannon said, because it said diet in the name of. Zena said the horses are beautiful. Shannon said Santa Clarita is the name of a city. Yes, it is Santa Clarita. Now where did I go? Holy shit. Okay, way back still. Oh, here somewhere. Zena said no, just going in circles and doing horse tricks. Kai said cool, love horses. Stu said camp draft, that's madman sport. Shannon said like Santa Cruz. Flyby said Mrs. MM, you're right on what a movie, sick fucks. Zena said so many people, cops everywhere, too many people unloading the weekend to their Facebook, uploading the weekend to their Facebook. Zena said I watched Seabiscuit the other night, sweet movie. It's about a horse. Stu said camp draft one. Last one I seen was at Marlborough, Queensland. Menacing Muskrat said, I thought it was Anderson Cooper in that Vanderbilt pool. Yes, it was. Little blonde kid. Yep, I got the biscuit bit. Kai said, if you can find it and can force yourself to watch The Faces of Death. Oh, I've already done that when I was young. Early 20s. Nah, never again. Santa said he's so pale, maybe he's into the V-shiz as well. Kai, don't need to know anymore, it's already too much to bear. Kai said from late 70s, early 80s. Yes, I've seen them. I've seen those. There's more than one Faces of Death movie. There is a 1, 2, 3, I don't know how many there are, but I've seen enough. Flyby said best CGI movie this year, Beekeeper, Jason Statham. Shannon said Anderson Cooper, Kathy Griffin is Anderson Cooper's brother. Kai said it's a brutal film even back then. Menacing Muskrat said, how can I make avocados ripen fast? Holy shit, I've got no idea. I really don't know. Put them in a dark place? I don't know. Yowie said, Shannon, she's good. And the guy from Canada, Norman Traversy. So he said, good movie that reflects today is Wild in the Streets, made in the 60s, 70s, kind of chilling when you think of all the drug use now. I remember a movie when I was young, right? And it was called, hang on, movie. Christian, hang on. Christian, I don't know, F? I don't know, we'll see. We'll find out. Yep, that's it. Shocking film, The Image of a Generation. At 12, it was Angel Dust. At 13, it was Heroin. Then she took to the streets. This is a really Christiane F, it's called. I remember seeing this when I was still a kid. Yeah, and it was, I don't know, back then I was maybe very young, but, you know, it was, yeah, pretty devastating, really. It's about a heroin addict. Just a 12-year-old girl who just goes further and further, and oh, dear God. Shannon said that was the music playing when the wolf was attacking the bus. Stu said Flyby, that was a good one. J1 said, yep, Elon along with Gloria's son and others. They were 12 years old. Wow. I didn't know that, J1. Senator said, Menacing, do you put them with bananas? Senator said, didn't Elon get taken by CIA when he was 8? I heard him say that in a doco once. I don't know. See, I don't know that much about Elon's past. George said, The Beekeeper's not a bad movie, Fly. Shannon said, wouldn't the biscuit get soggy in the sea, Zena? No, it's the name of a horse, Shannon, Seabiscuit. Kai said, Windows is an ancient computer system app. Zena said, too right, Shannon, but he was such a cute little champion, it was heartwarming. Raven said, Hev, I'm so going to have to cook for you one day. Oh, I'd love that. George said, I'm getting ancient, Kai, lol. Aren't we all? Zena said, Kai, it's not artificial intelligence, it's ancient intelligence, just like the computer in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Flyby said, George, I do like Jason Statham, not in a guy way. Kai said, George, me 3. Zena said, we just caught in the middle of its calculations. Kai said, yeah. Shannon said, all the Avalanche's songs are made from little clips and sounds from movies and other songs like Mr. Ed. Stu said, only the Roos that want to fight him have. He's okay, Alfred, okay. Yeah, as long as he's not just going picking on Roos, that's fine. Zeta says, has anyone ever listened to Pogo? Aussie musician, he does the same. Never heard of him. Menacing Muskrat said, June 4th, the board. June 14th, holy smokes. Yeah, but can I get June 14th? Like, oh, I don't know if I can. Nope. I'd have to scroll through every single one of them to get it. Hang on, we're in November, right? Oh, hang on. It jumps pretty quickly to... Hang on. Where did I jump? Right, we've got June the 25th. Okay. Back to November 2020. Okay, let's see if I can get to June. How... can I do it this way? Oh, God, that's slow. I can do it quicker like this. Okay, we're on speed dial here. I'm speeding the mouse, little wheel, right? June the 14th. We'll go to the first one that I come across. June 14, where are we? I'm there. Okay. There's a 13th. 13th. Where the bloody hell's the 14th? No, we don't. Oh, here we are. Yeah, it's probably gone by now. What's that? Joe Biden, I tried to prostitute myself to big donors. That was the token back. Nice one. Was that the only June 14? Yep, that one, right. So now we'd have to go to, holy cow, the next year, which is 2019. Okay, here we go. Don't look if you get motion sickness, okay? I'm trying to go as fast as I can through the scroll on this mouse, man. I'm on a race. I'm racing now. Ooh. Can we get to the next one? Oh, my God, this is going to take me forever. Do you know which year, Menacing Muskrat? Oh, my God. Oh, hang on. Oh, we're going to jump to it quicker this time. Geez, I'm doing scrolling well, aren't I? Okay, June the 14th starts about here. These people are sick. Hunted becomes the hunted. Ghislaine Maxwell, follow the family, UK, US 1 and 2, umbrella SURV, leapfrog 1 to 4, points of contact, open source, find 4. What's this? New York Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Children. Oops, that site can't be reached anymore. See, half of these links are gone now. How do you eliminate a liability? Where is Epstein being held? Reconciled? Do you believe in coincidences? Powerful people connected? Panic? Oh. How did it jump to July 14th? Oh, my God. There you go. There's Gloria Vanderbilt with her 2 sons. Okay. That's July the 8th. And I've gone down to May. What the hell is going on here? Right, I better go slow. Okay, there was no June the 14th of that year. Oh, God. For the last one, it's probably going to be quicker if I go, like, the upside-down way. Oh, Oh dear. I hope you don't mind just hanging with me for a minute while I do this. If you do mind, I'll see you on the next one. Oh dear. Motion sickness time. Come on. Mousy, move faster. Where's June? Can I just like hold it with one hand and here we go. Can you hear that? Come on, June. Where's June? 14th. Come on. Where are you? Okay, we're at July 4th. We're getting there. Slow down a bit, heavy. You might miss it. $15th. 14th. Which says 15th there. That's why I'm getting confused. What's going on here? This says June the 14th, okay? It was a Donald J. Trump saying what is taking so long with the Inspector General's report on crooked Hillary and slippery James Comey, numerous delays. Hope reporters not being changed and made weaker. There are so many horrible things to tell. The public has the right to know. Transparency. IRR approved signed Pfizer warrant applications to extend surveillance on POTUS and others. What evidence to support? Snowball. Why was Rachel Brand removed? Critical thinking. POTUS in possession of and reviewing original IG unredacted report, modified IG unredacted report, RR version, Rod Rosenstein version. Modified IG redacted report, RR version. IG summary notes, RE obstruction to obtain select info classified. Number 3 released tomorrow. SEC, FBI, DOJ handling of HRC email investigation. Rod Rosenstein. Who has the sole ability to class it all? Did you witness the stage being set today? Nunes, Grassley, Freedom, C, push for docs, central figure within docs, personally involved, known conflict. Immediate impeachment, resignation, termination, recusal if ever brought to light. Be loud, be heard, fight for truth. Let me cough for a minute. Push for docs, D-class. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equally, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the government, which I do not consent to Australia's government anymore. That whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it's the right of the people to alter or abolish it, and to institute a new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organising its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Prudence indeed will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes, which ours all have, and accordingly all experience hath shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer while evils are sufferable than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they're accustomed. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such a government and to provide new guards for their future security. Who's going to back me while I walk into Parliament House in Canberra and get rid of these people? I want to arrest them personally. Citizen's arrest, mate. That was on the 13th. Okay, there's one more. And let me just go that way because this is going to be easier to do it this way. Is it? I don't know. Did I miss a year? I don't know. Someone can let me know if I missed a year. Holy guacamole. Whoa, where am I? Hey, Muskrat, how you going?
Hey, real quick, I just know that this date is really important, and I know that we had to go back to the keyboard on it, so I should have texted you prior to you going through all this. I apologize, but I should have sent you a text or an email.
Oh, that's all right. I'll find it. I'm nearly there now, so we'll get to it. Okay, thanks.
You bet. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Bye. Sorry, that was Menacing Muskrat just ringing to let me know. She should have messaged me first to let me know about this so I could look it up previously. That's all right. April, May, June. Come on, we're nearly there. We're nearly there. Crazy. May, come on, June, come on. There we go. 11. Oh, there's Seth Rich. If you don't know who Seth Rich is, you should look him up. June the 12th, hang on. 11th, 12th, come on. 13, 14, where are we? Well, there's a lot on the, yeah, there was a lot then. 13th, 14th. Yep, okay. Pfizer, Snowball, Rachel Brand removed. Oh, it's the same one I just read. Hang on. Okay, I'm missing something here. Okay, anyway, let's get back to the comments. Sandra said, tell us menacing. George said, Jason Statham's a good actor, fly. Kai said, wondering how it's going to turn out. Out to lunch said, Hev is 5-5. Kai said, 5x5, all systems are go, all out and clear. Out to lunch said, of course. Kai said, to communicate negative, you say negative, so it's more discernible from 5x5. Shannon said, King's Day, Kingdom of America. Kai said, Shannon. Zeta said, Constitution says no king, what gives? Stu said, the Big Lebowski, you can blow on my toes. Zeta said, it's a constitutional republic or else it's an insurrection is occurring. Flyby said, George, the trouble is he can't turn movies out quick enough, lol, waiting for Beekeeper 2. Kai said, 1, world government incoming is what's up, consent in process of manufacture now. Oh, shoot. Of course it jumps. Yeah, I'm here somewhere. Stu said, no, silly phone, no love eyes, laugh my ass off. Shannon said, Hev's Eddie Murphy, delirious, lol, deep cuts. Yes, I am delirious right now. Menacing Muskrat said, Hev, does your mum listen to your live shows? No, she doesn't. Kai said, phone, be right back. Stu said, yep, spread eagled, Ross Wilson. Oh, yeah. Spread eagled, yeah, I know what that means. Menacing Muskrat said, thumbs it up, family, thank you. Flyby said, thanks everyone for the well spells, I'm on the mend. George said, Beekeeper 2 with thumbs up. Kancheka said, Xena Baron is princess, dies child of DJT, or when Charlie chucks the eggs in the air, she'll be queen and DJT, or John Patton will be king as well as DJT was anointed by SA as king. Oh, God, love you, Menacing Muskrat, putting all the links up there. Miss Shannon said, Beekeeper movies, a real buzzkill. Menacing Muskrat said, if I'm in on play, I'm in if on play death becomes her, yes. George said, a lot of Faces of Death was fake. Interesting. Now I've got to blow my nose again. I hope it was fake, George. Stu said Camp Draft is 1,000,000 miles away from a dressage. Although I did see a man get hit by a train on Faces of Death. That looked real to me. I don't know. Stu said, Pony Club. And the Faces of Death I watched wasn't really much of a movie. It was more like just a series of clips of people dying and weird shit and stuff I never want to see again. Out to lunch said, Rumble watch party, Death Becomes Her, Rumble. As soon as I get it, as soon as I get the movie, I will do that. J1 said, keep the avocados together in a closed container. Senator said, anyone over 40 gets dragged away into camps, they own nothing and are happy. Conchega said the USS America just docked in Sydney unannounced. This could be the start of the removal of our treasonous government and Albo's AWOL. Ooh, very interesting. Raven said, avocado, not avoid, stupid autocorrect. Yeah, I know, it does that to me too, Raven. J1 said, same goes for any fruit you want to ripen more quickly. Stu said, some dead mates from that poison. Menacing Muskrat said, Xena, and I have bananas. Out to lunch said, Quartermaster and the Pit movie would also be good. Stu said, for fuck's sake, poison. Menacing Muskrat said, Xena, put them both on in a paper bag. Now I've got a cough. Okay, seems like 2 hours is my limit at the moment. I'm getting that tickle. Yes, menacing in a dark place. Yep. No, I think you're right, Zane. I think it's bananas. J1 said, Stu Smack is my nickname, lol. Stu said, dickheads, I miss them, not what took them out on some on purpose, some not. Flyby said, does anyone know of Chubby Brown? Sorry, can't share the joke. Don't want to upset Hev. George said, Chubby Brown is a joker, but the lefties hate him. Menacing Muskrat said, thank you. It's big. I should text you. Sorry. No, it's okay. Santa said, I can't say they didn't let us know. I guess they were doing the same thing like Simpsons predicting the future. They got to tell us. The audio stream's current bitrate is lower than the recommended bitrate. What the fuck? I don't even know what that means. What does it mean? And what widget? Okay, well, what do I do about it? They're telling me, but I don't know what to do about it. So, okay, thank you very much for telling me something I don't know what to do that with. Flyby said Trump's 79th birthday, isn't it? Yep, it is. Conchega said the raids are in LA, not ice related. They're about 900 pounds of meth they just got to feed. J1 said Gloria was the high priestess of the northern quadrant. Eastern quadrant. Conchega said martial law will have to start in the US first so as to shut down the traders for removal. Make sure your peeps have enough food, etc. for about a month when the shite hits a solar-powered fan. Flyby said, here we go on the mulberry bush. Here we go round the mulberry bush. Zena said half of them don't even go by their real name. Anyway, if they were on the Epstein list under their pseudo-identity, they won't be charged, straw man. Shannon said, is Trump's military parade on today? Stu said, about time Disney did a movie for the book Little Black Sambo. Zena said, I can't explain it, but I think they folded time. Conchega said there were other reported on the fashion industry that were funneling money to the cabals, over 70 million in funds taken and 17 million owed in taxes. Menacing Muskrat said Gloria is one of the mothers of darkness. Remember, both bushes are referred to the 1,000 points of light, refers to the castle of Emerora in Belgium. Stu said that would go down well in this political climate. Senator said, Conchega, I'm convinced there's no system in this world that we operate that has not been corrupted. J1 said, no, Gloria was not a mother of darkness, just a high priestess. Senator said, the real economy of honest industry is probably on 10. Zena said 10% of what is reported, the rest black money. Conchega said, Zena, from what I received in the way of comms, Albo's going to meet with DJT before heading to Gitmo. Jules said, happy as a dwarf. Zena said, I wonder if the land of Nod is over the ice wall now. Menacing Muskrat said, the reptilians line, J1. Stu said, oops, don't tell my big sister I said that. Zena said, Conchega, oh, love, that makes me so happy to hear that news. Flyby said, course it is, Zena, you not been listening? Shannon said, Trump's military parade cover excuse to have military close at hand, maybe? Menacing Muskrat said, it'll be a solar flash that will separate the wheat from the tares, yep. Stu said, I only see most of the chat, not all. Forgive me, guys. Conchega said, Stu, broken Queensland Brumby in the 70s, one of two, got thrown about 100 times into a corrugated iron fence. Next time I saw it, it had 4 kids on its back and quiet as a mouse. Zena said, no, I was watching a spinning wheel for the first 50 minutes. Oh, no. It says now my stream is healthy. I don't get it. I don't understand what they are talking about. God knows. Okay, anyway, with that, guys, I'm going to leave it there for today, and hopefully I'll be back with either a video or a live tomorrow. Have a good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are, and I'll talk to you soon. I'm going to go and recover. Bye, guys.